There are two YouTube channels that I want to talk about for a little bit. And one of them is Bat and the Sun's Superpower Beatdown and Screw Attack's Death Battle. Um, both of these I I I watch frequently, and I do enjoy them both. Though if I had to pick, I would choose to watch Death Battle over Superpowered Beatdown for numerous reasons. For one thing, the thing that I never really liked about Superpower Beatdown was that basically how they uh, rule, you know, out there, how they, the deciding factor of how they win, which is mostly based on, like, on like voting, like on fan favor or whatever, and not really any type of research or anything. I mean, it's pretty much just they take two like random superhero or comic book or whatever characters, and this guy goes around a con and asks random people, who do you think will win, and they'll just give like a one sentence brief description like, oh, I think this guy will win because he's cooler and yada yada yada. It doesn't. I never really liked that part because it doesn't really say much about, you know it doesn't really say much about the character. I mean, you don't really get any type of uh, details of what these two characters are capable of, and why do, and it's so it's not the deciding factor of who wins is just based on uh, a voting poll. I mean, it just I don't know. It just doesn't really. The death battle. I mean, the superpower beatdown seems like something that, like, if you were to take me, my cousin, my brother, and a few of our friends and just talk about who will win, it's pretty much that type of like discussion. It wouldn't be. It'll be kind of like, you know whose character can sucker punch the hardest or whatnot, or whatnot. It wouldn't be much of an in-depth conversation. I mean, I mean, uh, the best thing about the superpower beatdown, I think, is really not the whole, uh, you know, talking about them, but more or less the fight scenes themselves. The fight scenes are like done really well. I mean, it's all like live amateur or C list or whatever actors uh, doing all of the choreographed fights and whatnot, and which is really good. And but that's basically it. I mean, uh, Superpower Beatdown is good, at least when it comes to the fight scenes, but everything else, I don't know. I just don't like the whole voting poll being the like kind of like the deciding factor of who wins. I mean, there are some exceptions, of course, like the Scorpion versus the White Ranger. They did a bit of talk about those two, especially with the White Ranger. They actually introduced the guy who played the Green and the White Ranger, the original, Green and White Ranger, and they give he gives a bit detail of what the character is, because after all he played him, he knows. So but even then it's still, I don't know, I mean, like I say, it Death Superpower Beatdown is good. I just don't like how it builds up, more or less. It just I don't know. I just can't really take it seriously. With Death Battle, the one thing I like and that I wish that Superpower Beatdown had was that with Death Battles they pin two characters. It doesn't really have to be comic book characters. I mean, they've had other characters pin, like Terminator and RoboCop, but the thing that I've always liked about them is they actually go into details and of the characters they are pinning against each other. I mean, like their backgrounds, their like feats, and whatnot. So you get a really, you're able to at least guess with all the information that you've been given, who's gonna win before you see the actual fight, which is always fun to me, because I mean you get like a lot of good information, and the fights themselves are actually, really creative. Like instead of with Superpower Beatdown having them all being like live action and whatnot, some of them are like kind of like the 2D sprite, like Street Fighter type, Marvel versus Capcom 2 type of graphics, and then other times they'll use like 3D stuff. I think they used 3D like twice. First one was Terminator, and I know they did it with Godzilla versus Gamora. Uh, but yeah, I definitely like Death Battle and Superpower Beatdown. I do watch them both frequently, but Death Battle is just, I don't know. I feel it's a superior, uh, YouTube show, mostly because of the fact that it just has a lot more to offer. You actually get to learn about certain characters that you never really knew, like He-Man versus like Lionel. Like, I never watched He-Man, but I do know a little bit of the Thundercats because I used to watch a little bit of it. But there are some things about Lionel and the Sword of Omens itself that I did not know, like the Sword of Omen, the Eye of Thundera being powerful enough to hold a broken planet together. I mean, things like that when you just like, intrigue me. I don't know. I guess I tend to crave detail or like substance a lot, and it just really interests me, and the things that, when you watch characters that and then you learn about stuff about them that even someone like you didn't know. Like, oh really? It's just, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just think Death Battle is a superior YouTube series. I mean, Superpower Beatdown is good. I just don't think it's as good as Death Battle, but I watch them both, you know, equally. I like them both. I mean, there's nothing really particularly wrong with Superpower Beatdown. It's just how they, you know, do it, whatever. But it's just I don't think it's that, you know, as good as Death Battle. It's just me, and of course I am only speaking for myself, and I'm probably a fucking idiot. So yeah, I thought I'd just talk about this. It's like 6 in the morning right now. It's still a little dark, and I'm in my room in the dark talking about this. Yeah, just woke up and just decided to talk about it. So yeah, this is Adam Seln. Thanks if you're listening to my rambling and you like it and you rate and subscribe. What the fuck is wrong with you? No, just kidding. No, if you liked it, that's good. Like, rate, subscribe, or ignore it. You know, hey, you know, can't please everybody. Yeah, I make fun of myself a lot. You know, and you'll get used to that soon. So, but yep, this is Adam Selm, and I'll be signing off, and hopefully I'll see you all later.